From New York and on the new Hot 97 app, Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Ebro in the morning, Laura Stiles, Rosenberg. Give it up for Kobe Richardson on the program. The world just met him because everybody was coming for the organization that you came up in, or are you still a part of the?
Yeah, it's the Crushers Club.
The Crushers Club, which is a community organization in Chicago that received donations from the Inspire Change movement with the NFL, Rock Nation, Jay-Z. You were pictured getting your dreads cut by, what was the lady?
Sally.
That was Sally. And she's the director?
Sally Hazelgrove.
Now, she's profusely apologized because she didn't understand the cultural sensitivities of seeing a white woman cutting a black man's dreads, and also the idea that having dreadlocks is somehow bad for your life.
Well, no, actually, that was symbolize a change. That was what I chose to say.
Got it.
And I took the picture because I wanted a remembrance to have some of my locks.
So now, how do you respond to all the backlash today?
Well, I just like to say, to me, it's like all of a big misunderstanding because y'all can't judge no one off one picture. You know, you got to really get to meet somebody and see the kindness in their heart and what they desire. It's pure. You know, she's real pure. That's one thing I can say about her. And her intentions are real rare with us.
I'll say that her apology, profuse apology, surprised me. It was interesting though because
In a good way.
In a good way. Yeah. It surprised me in a good way. Because I do believe that, you know, people that are outside black culture don't understand the cultural pain associated with hair. Right?
Yeah.
And black people are very sensitive about hairstyles, and how society has kind of forced us to conform to certain standards to fit in. And I think that was what the blowback that you...
Yeah.
Now, you didn't get the blowback. It kind of went towards the organization, correct?
Yes, it went to the whole organization.
And how did you feel about what you saw out there?
I just hate to see it because I don't want to lose the club. You know, we need the club. We need more people like Sally actually in Chicago because it's very dangerous there, and she actually cares. You know.
So how did you end up involved with the Crushers Club?
I was mandatory to go there from probation. Yeah.
Okay, so you gotten in trouble.
Yeah, I was in trouble, and I was on mandatory 5 years probation, and they mandated me to go there.
And what did you take away from the program? How did it affect you?
I took away patience and, you know, staying humble and boxing skills too.
That's a big part of it, is the boxing thing, right?
Yes, and we have a music studio also, and we do crushes with cops.
And what's that?
Well, it's a group of cops that we be with, like the 9th District and things, and we go like fishing. Actually, that's my second time. I'm 19 years old, only been fishing twice in my whole life. And we done made pizza with them, made brownies, and just
It's about bringing the police closer to the community, creating a relationship.
Just getting a relationship.
Yeah. How did you initially get involved in a life that was going to lead you on probation? How did that happen?
Well, I was young, you know, just made silly mistakes coming up. It's very dangerous and it's tempting. You know, you don't have no father figure or no big brothers at home with you to guide you. The streets is easy to get into. You know, trouble is always easy to get into.
And so now you said that that your dreads and your locks were somehow affiliated with gangs also?
Well, it wasn't necessarily that, but back in around 2016, 2015, it was a trend. You know, everybody wanted to be like Chief Keef, basically, with the locks, with the hair. You know, we was all just trying to say, well, we're going to see how long our locks get, you know, growing and things like that. But it wasn't the locks the reason why I was in the gang. I was in the gang because it was something I chose to do at an early age. Mm-hmm. I didn't have no leadership then, so I just, you know, wanted to latch on to what was popping.
One of the reasons I wanted you to come by, and I'm glad that your team reached out. Who reached out to us?
Yeah, right there.
And you work with who?
I'm helping them out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Meek's
you work
publicist.
Meek Mill, Rubin. Okay, all of that stuff. Okay. And that's the Reform Alliance and Rock Nation, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. I thought it was interesting because what struck me was the idea that locks, which is a hairstyle that's generational and cultural for black folks, could be associated with a gang or some sort of bad lifestyle. And that was frustrating for me. And then you saw a lot of accomplished people like Ava DuVernay come out and make sure that that wasn't the narrative.
Well, and actually, it's not even just her. We have multiple kids at the gym with locks. You know, they're successful. We actually have a pro fighter there right now. He's 23 years old. He's been there since he was 9, 10, you know, and he's actually doing good. He graduated school, pro fighter. I mean,
And he has his locks.
Yeah, he has
So
locks.
it's not that the Crushers Club is encouraging people
to cut locks, no, just for a change, no. That was something I chose to say up under the picture, you know. And actually, we have a few. Half of the whole Crushers Club, like we have somebody in the engineer business with like beats and stuff, because we do music there too. And JoJo has his locks. He had them since he was young.
So what we talked about off the air was that, you know, the narrative of locks in some way being negative came from that picture. And obviously that offended people, hurt people's feelings to even think about that, because
Well, it's also
locks are associated
let's
with such a positive thing.
Well, yeah.
But
Generally
there is a thing. I had locks from 1993 to 2000.
Yeah.
Black folks were always negative about my locks, more so than people outside the black community. Why do you have that? Well, you should cut that, et cetera, et cetera. Because of how we've been socially conditioned, right? Because of slavery in this nation, and how our hair, you know, the term dread came from when the Englishmen saw the black people's hair and said, your hair is so dreadful, right? That hairstyle is a part of tribal cultures for thousands of years, right? Like, it's not just an American thing or a roster. Shawnee, you had locks for how long?
About 12 years.
So people, prior to this moment, people do try to associate black hairstyles, afros, braids, locks with negative things all the time. This is not a new phenomenon, and that's why people are so sensitive about it.
Yeah, that's true. And we did make a bad look with locks too, in a sense, back in Chicago.
Oh, you mean when y'all was doing y'all gang and whatever y'all was doing?
Yeah, people still to this day, you know, people gang bang, you know, people terrorize people with locks, and you know, people with locks, they look intimidating, you know, when they have them all in their face and stuff. So, yeah, they make it looks like bad, you know, in a sense.
Yeah, it was, you know, I appreciate your team reaching out and wanting to clear it up. Is there anything else you want to say to people out there who saw you on social media and took this opportunity to, you know, make a bad look of what you guys are trying to accomplish?
Well, see, I grew up terrible, so I want to be bigger and more than just, I don't know how to say this. I really don't right now. I don't know how to, man.
Well, you came from a lot. I know that you were shot 14 times.
Yes.
At one time.
Yeah, at once. And it was because I trusted someone, a close friend, you know, who I thought was my friend. And he set me up. We was supposed to go and go smoke. And he set me up, shot me up on the next block. And I had to overcome that. I was traumatized. I couldn't walk. And, you know, Sally was actually one of the people when I woke up out my coma to be there with the boys and the manager. And they was there for me and to keep me uplifted. They kept my family cool, made sure we had food and everything. And even after the fact, she still built my trust up because I needed more people skills because I was so damaged and traumatized, like I couldn't trust nobody. And she was there. And that was one of the reasons why I actually let her come out here too, because I didn't trust nobody around the time. It was dangerous. It's always dangerous out there. And the stuff that, you know, you see people do or you watch it go on, you like, no, you would rather just, you know, sit back and move how you move.
Well, we appreciate you, Kobe, for coming to talk. The Crushers Club, do you know anything about their relationship with the NFL and how that even happened?
No.
You don't know how they even got on the radar to receive the donations in the first place?
I really do not, nope.
Have you been involved in the organization long enough to know who donates to the organization other than this instance?
I've been there, but I really don't know because she don't get into all that with us. You know, that's like her and like the manager job to do because I'm just a supervisor there, so she take care of all that. Like now,
so you've grown in the organization, now you're supervising different things.
Yeah, I'm supervisor of the kids and the employees there actually.
Oh, that's dope.
That's dope. I heard. Did you guys get to meet Meek?
Yeah, at the kickoff. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
We met Meek. We met Megan. And we seen City Chicago. I mean, Rap City.
Oh, Rap City, yeah.
Yeah, Rap City.
You know, it's interesting because we hear of the news all the time of what's going on in cities like Chicago, but it's going on all over the country. And, you know, we all, when something's framed the wrong way on social media, we feel some type of way about it, but we're not as close to it as, you know, what you're dealing with in Chicago. And, you know, some people on this program had a problem with even y'all being in the garden, saying that those photos in the garden look like they had y'all out on some sort of plantation.
Oh, my.
Yeah, there was some.
Come on, Shawnee.
Come on.
God.
And
You
which
know, look.
I said, what, black people can't garden? Black people can't pick flowers?
what?
Black people can't grow food?
That's smooth then. Like, it's
And that's what it
it's
look like.
mad calming. Like, you just calm and
Yeah.
it's good. The air, you breathe. It's
You're out there
excellent.
relaxing. I
And
get
yeah,
it.
and we got bees too. It's flower farm with bees. I just really got offended when you said that.
But
Now look, we on the show, so I can defend myself.
yeah, okay.
On the
okay.
show, you know, in the morning here, we entertain and we
Yeah.
try to make people laugh. So in finding the funny within what was going on, and there's a ton of controversy with Jay-Z
Yeah.
and all of these things, when we tried to find out the organizations that he was putting the money towards,
Right.
visually it didn't look that great, especially for me being a rapper.
It was in the order of things were happening.
Right.
It was a picture of you
When you
getting your hair
combine all
cut.
of it, right.
Then then blah blah blah. And then the next picture you see people bending over in a field. We were like,
Right.
what
They
the
didn't
hell's
know
going
they
on?
Putting like stuff in the bag. We was like, what is this? They picking cotton now? Like what's really
That's
happening
so-
here?
no, that's
so
so-
it looked crazy, and it was to entertain the people.
Well, you're
but
here to clarify that it's
Yeah.
gardening
have a
that's
visual
therapeutic
that
for
was
you
easy
guys.
to
Yeah.
pick apart.
Yeah, and we it's that's another chance. She give us another opportunity to learn more things because we actually there with bees. It's like I say 5,000 bees there too in a flower farm, and she give us more opportunity to make more money there actually because some kids, you know.
how about
get
this? They make $15 an hour to work at that flower farm.
Okay.
Saying get money.
That's not bad.
And I want to shout out to, who's this here? Chicago ecohouse.org.
Yep. Shout out Chicago Eco House.
They
Shout out
emailed
Keelan.
us to complain and call Shawnee Culture and said it's this kind of lazy analysis that undermines credibility in modern journalism. We are proud partners of the Crushers Club because they work hard to create a loving family atmosphere for youth who have endured unspeakable trauma and violence. The teens in our apprenticeship program love the work and find it liberating to be a part of transforming their home neighborhoods from the inside out. I wish there was more accountability on shows such as yours. I'd like to formally apologize to the Eco House Chicago because I do like the idea of neighborhood farming and also vertical farming. People should look into that as well.
They build our dreams too. Like, you know, even with the cops and crushers, they build our dreams up because, you know, we lost dreams. You know, we lost hope. Some kids lost hope. It's kids out there 15, 14 that don't even know what they want to do when they get older, you know? So that kind of expand they thinking more and, you know, seeing what they want to do in the future. As men, you know, we young men, so we got to be more than just street niggas or thugs. You know, we better than that.
And for the
I'd
rest
like
of
to-
y'all,
I'd like
wait,
to,
hold
what-
up. For the rest of y'all, urban agriculture is an emerging, lucrative industry that has the potential to transform the fortunes of many of the most vulnerable people in our community. And flowers in particular are a high dollar crop with immense domestic growth potential, as 80% of all flowers you see in America are imported from overseas. And this person, I think it's Killen Blackwell, president of Chicago Eco House, who emailed, said, God bless y'all anyway. No, they didn't say anyway. You have an enormous platform, and I just ask that y'all please be more responsible with your rhetoric. Shawnee Culture.
Indeed. He didn't say that part. He did not say my name. But you know, listening to you and your story, it has a lot of impact, and I do want to apologize for anything that sounds insensitive. Again, we here to entertain, but
Put it off on making laughs.
you know,
Ha, ha,
this is what we
he
doing right
slap
now
on the
too
knee.
on the knee heat. But it's good to meet you and your story. How it does it makes me feel different and good about where the money is going. So salute to you on your journey, bro.
Thank you.
Yo, that was nice, man. Yo,
I'm just, you know, Rastafari. I'm not cutting my.
You already cut your line.
We doing this for the younger generation, though.
Indeed.
We got to keep
And
the
that's
boys
what-
going
that's what
because
it's about.
it's more boys that's there similar, like, you know, same story that with me, with Maz. And, you know, they unheard. You know, everybody's actually unheard. And that's like Sally, she's unheard. You know, she's just trying to better and be there for us, the youth. If she not, who else is, you know?
And Sally's from Chicago.
Yes.
And tell them the All Lives Matter thing. Let's chill on the All Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? It's Black Lives Matter. You know, people screw that up a lot. I understand. Sally, she apologized.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She
All
got her-
lives matter, man.
We Black Lives Matter. There ain't nobody out here shooting everybody ain't getting shot because of their color. Black people getting shot because of their color.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
Everybody not getting shot for that. But you a young man. You got a bright future ahead of you. Y'all give it up. Kobe Richardson. One
Thanks,
time.
Kobe.
Thanks,
All right?
Kobe.
It's Ebro on the
Yeah.